ProWrestlingTees.com/616entertainment is the only place to grab an official t-shirt for the channel. There's a million of them. Check them out. This video is also brought to you in part by the Patreon producers, without whom content like this would not be possible. The Shape, the Boogeyman, evil. Call him what you will, the fact remains that Michael Myers is arguably the most recognizable horror villain of all time. His look is a constant. Blue mechanics jumpsuit, white mask. More often than not, he's also got a big-ass knife he carries around too, but his kills are another conversation for another time. We're gathered here today to talk about his masks. The overall aesthetic reigns unwavering, but hardcore fans and eagle-eyed casuals can spot the differences in design even at a glance. It really is interesting just how much mileage you can get out of a white, expressionless face, huh? What's up, Dan-Dans? My name is Ian. Thank you for tuning in for Ranking Michael's Masks, a Halloween special. From the original 1975 modified Captain Kirk mask, all the way up to the singed and stained recreation for this year's Halloween kills, Michael Myers' choice in face covering fashion has somehow changed nearly a dozen times over the years, while also maintaining a pretty uniform design. You know, they say the more things change, the more they stay the same, and maybe they're right. Whoever they are. Let's not waste any more time. This is Ranking Michael's Masks, a Halloween special. Okay, hold on. One clarification before we really start. I'm only ranking the official masks used on screen. If you're a hardcore, you know what I'm talking about. The fuck up involving the blonde, flesh-tone mask in Halloween 4, it doesn't count. Ben Tramer from Halloween 2, it doesn't count. The several designs that were decided against from H2O, we don't have time for all these bullshits. Officials only. Got it? Good. Kicking off the list, we've got the torn apart, kinda bloody, half ripped off, but whole piece of shit, the mask from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't like this thing. I don't like anything about it. I dislike how much of Michael's face is showing. I dislike the fact that Michael pretty much just looks like Rob Zombie, and even has a long beard hanging out the bottom of the mask. I hate it. I don't have anything nice to say about this thing, so we'll just move on. Number 9, how about the long-necked, long-haired, furrowed brows, receding hairline monstrosity from Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers? I'm throwing out the fact that Halloween 5 takes place 1 year after Halloween 4, and this mask should actually be identical to the mask from Halloween 4. There's no in-universe excuse at all for why it looks so different, but learn more about that decision in the History of Halloween Part 3, the Thorn Trilogy. Link in description. I really can't stand how long the neck on this thing is. It looks like a $15 knockoff that you picked up for $8 at the flea market. Don't get me started on Michael spending the whole movie walking around with his hand cocked up in the ready-to-stab position. Bad movie, bad look, bad mask. And with our number 8 pick, we're already stepping out of terrible territory and into the not-so-bad section. No more constant complaining. Some of you may want to burn me at the stake for this, and that's fine. Our opinions don't have to be the same all the time. But I've got to put Halloween H2O's mask here, near the bottom. The expression is fine. It doesn't look like a cartoon. Reminder that we are leaving the rejected and or unused masks off the list. But it just doesn't work for me. The hair looks all poofed out, which isn't helped by how Myers actor Chris Durand holds his hunched forward posture to accentuate it. But more than the hair, though, are the eye holes. They're huge. Laurie shot Michael's eyes out with a revolver in Halloween 2. So in Halloween 4, they kept a bit of mystery around his condition by covering the eye holes with black mesh. Here in H2O, he just looks like it could be anyone. Maybe to some that makes it scarier, but to me, I can't get past the fact that he should A, be burnt to shit, and B, have visible bullet hole wounds around his eyes. The series is ridiculous. Making me say these things out loud only drives home the nonsense even harder. Number 7, Halloween Resurrection. I know, you hate me. Nobody likes the Resurrection mask better than H2O, right? Well, I do. Look, maybe there's some nostalgia bias. I'll own it. Resurrection was the first Halloween film I ever saw in theaters. Shout out to Sharon Ewers for bringing Tim and I to go see it when we were only 11. That's awesome. So yeah, I think I have a soft spot for this one on that alone. The black makeup around Michael's eyes is very Batman, but I'm gonna allow it, as at least it's an attempt to convey some sort of mystery, or maybe it's like burned skin? I don't know. In some early shots in the film, he's got a straight afro, like he just walked off the box art of NBA Street. But I'll give it a pass, for nostalgia's sake. Love the film or hate it, they at least did a pretty okay job with the mask in Rob Zombie's first Halloween film from 2007. It's worn and beaten because it was stuck under the floorboards for decades, and it's got a grungy look and feel to it because of that. I don't think Mr. Zombie can spell subtlety, let alone inject it into one of his movies, and that's not lost on this mask design. Rather than go emotionless and expressionless, there's definitely an attempt to make this thing look as scary as possible. Deep wrinkles, harsh shading, you see what I mean? But that's not to say it's bad. Not at all. Pretty good, actually. Cracking into the top 5 now, I'm gonna bring the mask from Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, to the table. I'm pretty sure this design, in most circles, is not held in high regard. It looks a little, I don't know, borderline friendly? It's hard to describe just how the ominous, threatening look of some of the better designs don't translate well here in Halloween 4's look, but I like it. I like it quite a bit. I put over the black mesh covering the eyes earlier, and I'm doubling down. It's scary. I think the mask from Halloween 4 gets an unfair bad rap more on how the rest of the costume looks. His collar is popped up like he's a fucking cool kid from whatever year this was the in thing to do. I don't remember. And actor George Wilbur's body language is just kinda strange. I want to pause for a quick second to say thank you to trickortreatstudios.com. I reached out and let them know about all this Halloween coverage I've been doing, and I asked if they wanted to be involved in any way, shape, or form. And they totally came through by sending me this awesome Halloween 4 officially licensed mask. We've all seen terrible Michael Myers masks online and in stores around October. These are not those. Trick or Treat Studios make the best Michael Myers masks, and they make a lot more than Michael Myers masks. I suggest you check out their website. I also want to go out of my way to say this is not a paid advertisement. This is not a commercial that they approached me with. They just sent me a cool thing, and I wanted to say thank you. And to prove that, this Halloween 3 pumpkin mask that I used to scare the shit out of you back in the History of Halloween Part 2, I bought this with my own money before I ever reached out to them, so this is something I've spent my own money on, and I will in the future. Highly recommend it. So thank you for sending me the mask. I appreciate it. I've got to slot the Halloween 2018 mask at number 4, man. I do, and here's why. I mentioned previously that the Rob Zombie 2007 design was created to look scary, to look rugged and hardcore, and the excuse that it was sitting under the floorboards, rotting away for 15 whatever years. The 2018 design captures that same idea of weathering and aging, while not crossing the line into, okay, but can we make it look scarier? This thing just looks gnarly. It looks ravaged by time, but in a legitimate way, not in a Hollywood magic sort of way. I'm looking forward to seeing how this new era design evolves through Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I really am. Coming in at number 3, I've got to show some love to the mask from Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, the film itself is damn near incoherent, but that's not the point. I like this look, man. It's dingy, it's nasty. It's got a really trimmed up neckline, and once again, the eyes are mysterious. The great look on the eyes isn't just the mask, though. To be fair, the lighting on set helped play with the shadows very effectively, and I'm about it. This was the first time I remember feeling like the mask looked cold and rough to the touch. How would I know such a thing? I don't. But when I was little and I saw Halloween 6 for the first time, I was enamored by imagining what this thing felt like. The expression is still blank, even if the paint application is harsh, but for me, it really feels like this thing is becoming one with the shape. My mind wandered with the possibility that the mask was somehow evolving, and that the bone structure of Michael's face was fusing into the latex. I was an insane child, I know. But the fact that this design caught my imagination like that means one thing. This look was extremely effective. In the runner-up position comes the first sequel's design. I'm talking, of course, about 1981's Halloween 2. When I was growing up, I thought this mask was a new design, as, side by side, there are noticeable differences in its look when compared to the original. But, it turns out, I was wrong for years. This is the original, it's just 3 years older. It has a new paint job, and the fact that there's a new actor under the hood with a differently shaped head, it plays differently on camera. Who can forget the bloody tears scene after Laurie shoots Michael's eyes out in the hospital? You want to talk about iconic? Halloween 2's mask is killer, Dan-Dans. And here we are, number 1, come on, you knew this would happen. The original mask is the undisputed king. Get the fuck out of here if you think otherwise. I'm just kidding about the last part, you can feel however you want. But this mask, guys, it's legendary. And knowing that this mold wasn't created by someone on the production team, it wasn't an artist sketching out 56 slightly different designs so that the studio could pick and choose what they liked based on what was most marketable, it makes it even better. Knowing that this was a $15 retail mask based on Star Trek's Captain Kirk, and production designer Tommy Lee Wallace purchased it off a shelf, cut the eye holes bigger, and spray painted the thing white because Halloween was so low budget that they had no other option, that's fucking awesome. That's about as badass as it gets. So it caused some legal troubles down the line. Who gives a shit? That's not our problem. We were here to rank Michael's masks, and we've done just that, placing the 1978 original at number 1. There it is, Dan-Dans. This was Ranking Michael's Masks, a Halloween special. Now obviously this was just my personal opinion, and here's what we do now. I want you to leave your own list ranking Michael's masks in the comments below. Maybe you're not as nitpicky and verbose as I am, or maybe you are. I don't know what the hell you do. But I want to see what your list looks like. We can compare and contrast and have a fun little conversation with this. What other horror topics do you guys want to see me cover in depth, maybe in a ranking style format? I'm down to do it. I love horror movies. I love horror stuff of all kinds. So if you guys do too, let's do more. Why not? Until next time, I love you, and I will see you soon.
It's me, your favorite slumlord. When I heard that Ian was going through his history of Halloween, I assumed when he got to 5, he would shit on it. I was right, wasn't I? It's great. I love Loomis. I love Tina. I love Mute Jamie. And you know what? The Halloween 5 mask is fantastic. It's my favorite mask. So, you can suck it, Ian. The only thing I hate more than people constantly shitting on Halloween 5, the Thorn Trilogy, all that shit. The only thing I hate more is people who constantly self-promote when they really don't need to. Like I said, I don't need to win.